Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside that weather window from this afternoon. And you can kind of tell by our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, thanks to Sky-Fi, that it was a little bit windy out there today. In fact, at about 1:15 this afternoon, we had a steady wind of 26 miles an hour. But boy, was it mild with temperatures in the lower 60s. Beautiful shot, though, looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. Lots of blue sky out there. Just a few floater cumulus clouds to worry about today, but not much. It was mild. And as we head into this Halloween weekend, I'll tell you what, a lot of you will be out and about safely trick-or-treating tomorrow, and things look very nice. This weekend, we expect highs here in Wenatchee Valley, no 40s. We are looking at mid to upper 50s this weekend with lows in the 30s and even near 40, but we could see some foggy conditions. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Chelan-Douglas Health District said Thursday that local healthcare providers are taking over contact tracing of COVID-19 cases in the two counties. September 2020 county-level employment figures and unemployment rates for Washington State's 39 counties were released by the Washington State Employment Security Department on Tuesday. And yesterday, the U.S. Department of the Interior announced it was removing the gray wolf from the list of threatened and endangered wildlife under the Endangered Species Act. But first, we begin tonight an accidental bump as a Wenatchee resident was leaving their home Thursday afternoon, turned on the kitchen stove, which then ignited a nearby basket of combustible materials at a home in the 1600 block of Springwater Avenue. Chelan County Fire District 1 spokeswoman Kay McKellar said the materials in the basket set fire to the kitchen cabinets, but firefighters were able to contain the fire to the kitchen. There were no people in the two-story home at the time, but firefighters found a cat, a hamster, and a turtle. McKellar said the hamster was at first unresponsive, but once outside, revived quickly. She said the occupants of the home had renter's insurance. The Chelan-Douglas Health District said yesterday that local healthcare providers are taking over contact tracing of COVID-19 cases in the two counties. That previously was being done by the State Department of Health. The health district says the local tracing allows information to be received and acted upon more rapidly. Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler said in his weekly video Thursday that contact tracing is vital to slowing the spread of the virus.
You know, a lot of people don't want to receive a phone call and be asked personal questions, but remember, we're in a pandemic, right? I mean, we're trying to keep other people safe. So I think it's really cool that Confluence Health, Cascade Medical Center in Leavenworth, Columbia Valley Community Health have all agreed that they are going to take on contact tracing and investigations for our local health district. So what's going to happen now, all of us, if we've been tested and have had a positive test, somebody has called us to give us that test result. And now what's going to happen is that same person who's calling from your doctor's office with your test result is going to talk to you about COVID, explain what you need to do to keep yourself and other people safe. And then they're also going to ask you who you think you may have gotten this from. Where do you think you might have been where you contracted COVID-19? And if you're willing to provide them a list of people who have been within 6 feet of them for more than 15 minutes, so a close contact of you, then we can reach out to those people also and advise them that they may have been exposed to COVID-19. And unless you give us your permission, we're not going to tell them to whom they may have been exposed. So your privacy will be protected. So the good news is we brought it back local. It's being done by your providers. It's no stranger from somewhere else calling, asking you questions. We're keeping it close, keeping it safe.
September 2020 county-level employment figures and unemployment rates for Washington State's 39 counties were released by the Washington State Employment Security Department on Tuesday. And as expected, negative effects of COVID-19 related layoffs on the statewide and local economies are apparent in the employment and figures from April through September of this year. The Wenatchee area local unemployment rate rose from 3.6% in September of 2019 to 6.1% this September. Also, the local economy lost 2,800 non-farm jobs between September 2019 and September of 2020. That's a 5.9% downturn. If there is a silver lining to this dark economic cloud, it's that year-over-year job loss rates, across Washington state have decelerated for the past 5 consecutive months. Well, on Thursday, the U.S. Department of the Interior announced it was removing the gray wolf from the list of threatened and endangered wildlife under the Endangered Species Act. This means that gray wolves, a species that's long been vilified, admired, and protected for more than 45 years, will no longer receive federal protections under the Endangered Species Act. The long-anticipated move is drawing praise from those who want to see the iconic species managed by state and tribal governments, and harsh criticism from those who believe federal protection should remain in place until wolves inhabit more of their historical range. Federal wildlife officials are hailing the move as a success story, similar to endangered species recovery stories such as the bald eagle and American alligator. Representative Dan Newhouse agrees and said, quote, "The gray wolf is an Endangered Species Act success story, and by empowering states to manage gray wolves populations, the federal government is now recognizing the effectiveness of locally led conservation efforts," unquote. Well, coming up next, on the heels of a destructive 2020 fire season, the State Department of Natural Resources released its 2020 Forest Action Plan this week. Even though the Health District has warned that trick-or-treating is a bad idea this Halloween, there still will be plenty of opportunities for costume kids to stock up on the sweet stuff Saturday. And don't forget to set your clocks back an hour before going to bed tomorrow night as we shift from daylight saving time to standard time. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Welcome back. And in other news, on the heels of a destructive 2020 fire season, the State Department of Natural Resources released its 2020 Forest Action Plan this week. The plan includes more than 100 priority actions to address forest health, wildfires, and climate change over the next decade. DNR's Allison Morrow explains the sweeping goals under this new plan.
Hi, I'm Allison Morrow with your DNR report. The Department of Natural Resources has released its 2020 Forest Action Plan. It outlines more than 100 priority actions to improve and conserve forests across Washington state.
Since 2010, programs tied to past versions of this action plan have protected 62,000 acres of forest land at risk of conversion and development in Washington. We aim to continue that success and then some in the next 10 years. This plan is about being proactive and taking steps as one to ensure health and resilience for our kids and our grandkids. This statewide plan includes the work we're doing on our 20-year forest health strategic plan for Eastern Washington, which many of you have heard about, and adds in the unique forest health and protection priorities for Western Washington.
For Western Washington alone, there are 16 priority areas spanning nearly 2 million acres. The plan will serve as a roadmap to address investments in those areas.
This action plan does not replace any of DNR's current strategies for forest health, wildfire protection, or climate resilience. Rather, it incorporates them under one umbrella and broadens the goals for improving our forest across the state.
In 2008, Congress charged each state with developing a forest action plan and updating it every decade. The plan also makes our state eligible for federal funding to invest in our forests. Of the more than 100 priority actions, Washington's plan includes preparing Western Washington for wildfire, safeguarding against drought, protecting critical fish and wildlife habitat, reducing wildfire fuels in east side forests, supporting rural jobs, increasing the use of prescribed fire, connecting fish and wildlife habitat, saving forests from development, promoting urban forests in an equitable way, and getting to work quickly.
And it really turns into a comprehensive, cohesive, statewide roadmap that all land managers can use to identify priorities and target investments so that we're working to leverage our investments most efficiently.
For more information on the Forest Action Plan or to read it for yourself in its entirety, visit dnr.wad.gov/Forest Action Plan.
Even though the health district has warned that trick-or-treating is a bad idea this Halloween, there still will be plenty of opportunities for costume kids to stock up on the sweet stuff on Saturday. One of those is the Candy Cruise in downtown Wenatchee. Linda Haglund, Executive Director of the Wenatchee Downtown Association, told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz this week how the COVID-19 safe alternative came about.
Everybody thought I was crazy in June when I said, what are we going to do with Halloween? Because I pretty much figured, even though I thought by June it would be over like most of everybody, and it wasn't, I knew that the 5,000 to 6,000 kids and their families in downtown was not going to, in any world, be acceptable this year. So I started talking about Halloween in June. And so my idea was cruising through and kids getting candy. Typically, the businesses do this, and it is an expense of theirs, and I didn't want that either. So Dave and Sandy Galatly always help us a little with Halloween. We usually buy a little bit for each business participating, but they stepped up even bigger. Goodfellow Brothers stepped up, and Dave Harold at Sunny stepped up, and we were able to buy the candy thanks to Plaza Superjet. They could source it for us, and we were able to buy the candy. So last Friday, we went to Nancy's Party Rentals and made what I called candy soup. And we dumped all the candy out and mixed it up, on tables and put it in the bags. And so we're going to allow people to cruise through. No children can be out of their cars. They have to be in their cars. Our volunteers or our people participating will have gloves on and masks. And kids can get candy in a safe way. I didn't have the heart to cancel Halloween,
No.
And so I saw where the health department says this is a safe alternative. So from 1 until 3, you can cruise. You're going to have to come in via Columbia, around the back of the convention center, up 2nd. You're going to cruise to Palouse, and then you're going to head out to, if you want to, we're at 1 to 3. 2 to 5, we'll be at the Town Toyota Center. And then from 2 to 4, we'll be on.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify,
yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope.
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace,
as you trust in him,
so that you may overflow with hope
by the power of the Holy Spirit.
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
nor destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
and resurrect your hope?
Maybe it's time to hope again.
And welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Goose the dog.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We are here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Goose is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Goose?
Yes, Goose is almost 2 years old. He's we think maybe a lab shepherd mix. He's super sweet. He's lived with other dogs. He enjoys polite females. He also was really good with the indoor cat. He's been around kids. He likes a little bit of a slower pace though. He's kind of unsure of new situations, so he's looking for somebody that could just be patient with him and kind of take their time to let him know their expectations. And I'm pretty sure if you give him time, he's going to be your best friend because he's really, really a great, sweet guy. He's super clean in his kennel here. Yeah, he's just looking for that forever home.
Oh. And what should someone do if they want to adopt Goose?
If they want to adopt Goose, he's ready to go today. He just, you need to call down to the shelter at 662-9577 and schedule a meet and greet.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open by appointment only. Call them at 509-662-9577 to schedule a meet and greet or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now for a check of your Halloween weekend weather forecast. But before we get to that, let's check out today and what a day it was as far as temperatures go. Look at that, unofficially 63 degrees. We did have a lot of wind, so there was that. But boy, temperatures very mild. 53 is normal. 42 warm degrees this morning, overnight low. 36 is normal. Record high just a few years ago, 73 degrees. What a nice one that was, but not so much in 2002, where the low that day dropped down to 15 degrees. 7:42 sunrise and sunset tonight will be at 5:46. Let's show you that surface loop now and what we can expect as we make our way through the 7 days. Tonight, decreasing wind. That will be nice. We'll see mostly clear skies. Then after that, most of the wind will be back into Montana. A few clouds still lingering along the Cascades and back west into the Puget Sound area, but not a bad evening tonight. For Halloween, things look great as you head outdoors. Sunny and mild. We could see a little bit of possible fog developing overnight tomorrow night, but not before we reach high temperatures in the lower to mid 50s for almost all of us for Saturday. Even warmer than that on Sunday. After the fog burns off in the morning, we will see sunny skies in the afternoon, and boy, will it just be a nice day on Sunday with high temperatures once again with all those clear skies, mid to upper 50s as we get into the end of the weekend. Pretty much the same goes for Monday. We'll see sun in the morning, increasing clouds in the afternoon. It will be a bit warmer, but look what else is coming our way. That's the next round of moisture that'll move in late Monday night and especially into Tuesday. We'll see a 30% chance of rain during the day. That goes up to 40% chance later in the day. It will stay mild because of this southerly flow, still bringing that warm air up our way. So for Tuesday, we'll see highs once again in the mid to upper 50s with that rain shower activity. For Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Once again, it's just going to be kind of stormy. A 40% chance of rain rain throughout our area. That will move through in the afternoon, and still mild as long as we are under that southwesterly flow. But things begin to change a little bit on Thursday. Partly cloudy. We'll still see a 30% chance of showers, but our flow will be more zonal, which means west to east. So maybe not quite as warm as we get into the mid and end part of next week, but we'll still be pretty solid into the low to mid 50s. Take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 36 tonight. There's your high for Halloween, 55 degrees. Nice at the end of the weekend and the first part of next week. And then a chance for rain each day on weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Pybus Public Market's motto is where community meets. Whether it's people, enjoying an event, or they meet a colleague for coffee and whip out their laptop and are able to actually do work here, having quick and reliable Wi-Fi is one of the things that makes Pybus such a great community hub. It just contributes to the welcoming place that we want Pybus to be. I'm Allie, and fiber keeps people connected, and that's what Pybus Market is all about.
Merry Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Merry Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Merry Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Merry Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. Sandy Cooprider estimates he's touched the lives of over 25,000 students in his 44 years of coaching and educating at Wenatchee Valley College. He greets every day with a fresh energy, intent on making a difference. He says his philosophy is pretty simple.
Okay, I get up today, I'm going to make it better than yesterday. I get up tomorrow, I'm going to make it better than today. I'm going to try and have a positive attitude, because attitude does make the difference in everybody's lives. I think you have to show people you love them, okay, because I think what happens is we don't do that sometimes as much as we should. There's the 3 C's, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. I used to talk about that in my classes all the time. I said, take a piece of paper and write those 3 words on a piece of paper and then put it in a place where you can reach to it. So when you start to criticize or condemn or complain, reach your hand into that pocket or into that purse and grab a hold of that thing to remind you not to do that. So if we could be less critical of people, okay, whatever their beliefs are, okay, and we're living in a world today that is so chaotic and so divided. It saddens me to see this, because we've been in better times, obviously, but if you know anything hopefully about the people of the United States, is that they're going to pull together, and hopefully we can do that in a positive way.
The sports complex Cooprider built at Wenatchee Valley College will bear his name thanks to a vote to the WVC Board of Trustees. He believes the founding reason why he built the fields will carry through to future generations.
The message that I was trying to convey is that we're taking care of the youth of this valley. College athletes are youth, I don't care, they're still young. High school, middle school, grade school kids. My philosophy is bring them on campus. Their parents will come, they'll see what we have. Greg Franz did Night Buddies. We did Night Buddies for a long time and brought kids in, which helped him down the road to be the 96 NWAC champion and be the semifinalist in the 2000 championship. I used to do football camps all the time and do day camps where we bring every single kid in. We had 60, 70 players that would take these kids underneath them and they'd go over and they'd show them how to do something, and then all of a sudden they want to come to the games. And so that was my philosophy, is open the campus, bring them on campus, let them see what we have. And that was one of the motivations behind this complex. Because if you take a look at all the people that have come to that campus in the last 24 years because of that facility, it just kind of blows you away, and that if you build it, they will come, and boy, have they. That just fits perfect.
A dedication of the Cooprider Sport Fields complex will take place when COVID restrictions allow. Well, the Seahawks prepare to host the 49ers Sunday at CenturyLink Field, and while yesterday's signing of Carlos Dunlap will help next week in Buffalo, Seattle's still undermanned going into the game this week. Safety Jamal Adams still questionable after missing 3 games with a groin injury. Quarterback Shaquille Griffin's coming off a concussion, and on the other side of the football, running backs Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, and Travis Homer all questionable heading into the weekend. That could mean more action for DJ Dallas. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer says he better be ready.
You know, I think last week was a good lesson for everybody. You know, young players that might find themselves a little bit lower on the depth chart. Oh, I might not get a whole lot of play, and he gets kind of thrown into the game late. And, you know, a couple little things there mentally that he's got to be sharper with. And I love he takes accountability for all those things when you watch it. But he's a really good football player. Instinctive, one-cut, decisive runner, really good feet, really good change of direction, again, he's a guy that we know can play well and play at a winning level for us.
Coach Pete Carroll says they're also looking at the possibility of wide receiver David Moore or others taking snaps as a running back if need be.
You know, we'll check out, you know, what we need this week and watch our guys coming back, you know, off the injury list and see who comes back. But we are, you know, we have to make some moves in preparation in case the guys don't get back. So we're doing that, and we'll wait and see when the week's over so, you know, you can figure out who it is. DJ Dallas is a rookie out of Miami who hasn't had too many opportunities on the offense through 6 games, but he says he's learning as he goes.
Having fun on special teams. I like special teams a lot. Got a little bit of burn here and there on the offensive side of the ball, and you know, I just kind of take my reps where I can get them. You know, kind of like a hyena in the wild. you find something, you go get it. So I try to take my reps where I can.
Hyena in the wild. Okay. San Francisco comes into Sunday's game with a 4-3 record with an up-and-down season so far. Bobby Wagner says one thing is for sure, their offense will try to get outside on Seattle's defense.
Our edge play is really important against this team. They're looking to get outside, and the moment you overplay, that's when the running backs kind of cut back inside. So you have to be ready, you have to be on point and understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get outside, and if you overplay the outside, they're trying to see if anybody's, you know, out of their gap. So, you know, this is a team that you really have to be disciplined, and you have to have your eyes right, and you have to just do your job and play on their side of the ball. You got to be in the backfield.
Seattle and San Francisco renew their NFC West rivalry at CenturyLink Field Sunday at 1:25. You can watch the action on Fox. Well, here's what we have on tap this weekend here on the NCWLIFE channel. Begins tonight with Big 9 football. Eastmont Wildcats host Moses Lake Chiefs. Grant Olson and I have your play-by-play coming up at 6:30. Tomorrow's matinee at 1:30 features Big 9 girls soccer. Eastmont hosts Moses Lake. I'll join Matt Wisen with the call. Then at 6 is Les Schwab Night at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval from August 8th. Now, Sunday features 2 Big 9 girls soccer matches from last November. First at 2, it's Eastmont and Wenatchee to decide the Big 9 title. Then at 7, Eastmont hosts Meade in its first ever appearance in the state tournament. Have a great weekend. Be safe and sane. See you on Monday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I hope you have a good and safe Halloween. I recommend you do the Candy Cruise in downtown Wenatchee. It's the best way to get loaded up on your sugar for Halloween. Join me Monday. My guest will be Darcy Christopherson, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. It's been way too long since we've had Darcy on the program. She's going to give us the latest update on what's happening for Apple Blossom 2021. Keep your fingers crossed. Plus, we'll have your forecast. We'll talk Seahawks and Niners. Everything you need to start your next work week and a brand new month. Yeah, we'll see you Monday live and local at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a safe and fun Halloween weekend.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.